I'm Kevin and I've been riding motorcycles for 55 years. I was an apprentice mechanic and a neighbour had a BSA Bandon for sale, $30, so I bought that and used that to go to and from work. So that was my first bike. Oh, no interest in bikes at all before that. Couldn't afford one, but that one came up at, $30 was about 3 weeks' pay, and bought that at 18-year-old. I had a bit more money, and that's when I got to start to go into bigger bikes, and just went from there. I was 20-year-old, I just finished my apprenticeship as a motor mechanic at a Ford dealership, and all I ever wanted to do was join the police force and on the bikes. Did all the qualifying exams and physicals and got a start in January 1973. After about 18 months I did a bike course out at St Ives, which was the best 3 weeks I've ever spent, getting paid to train on a bike, and there was blokes who'd never ridden before in it, and they were hopeless at the start. But after 3 weeks, they were brilliant. And it was, so the first week was trail bikes, and they'd have a loudspeaker that they squawk and you had to drop it. Second week, put you on a road bike, 750 Hondas, and you just, a vehicle manoeuvring area, there's a big square pad, and they'd have witches' hats down, and all day long you'd be just throwing figure eights. And the third week, you went out behind much the same thing, or you'd be chasing other blokes around. It was like a mini racetrack. And then you go out on the road and follow an instructor at the back of you, and he'd be able to tell you what you're doing wrong. It made you a better rider, just alert and attentive all the time. So it was just a fun job for a young bloke, like it was just ideal. I have no idea, sorry. I've got them in the house, under the house. I've got a FJ 1200. About 2 years ago, I went to Port Macquarie and bought this RZ350, RZ250, K6 750 VFR. I bought us off another customer. It's a Suzuki Hustler, 64 Suzuki. A 750, another water bottle, boulder door. Water bottle I bought about 18 months ago. It's an R5, it's a 72 model Yamaha 350. A YDS5 Yamaha, electric start, 250 Yamaha. YDS3 Yamaha, which I bought from a bloke from Sydney and restored it. 750 to H2. There's another H2. I'm in the middle of restoring that one at the moment. And it's another YDS3 Yamaha. And the Z1, it's a 68 and a 69 Bonneville. And this was straight from Malaya Grand Prix. It was a 2D1 Yamaha. It was $600, I think it was, and I traded the 3-cylinder Kawasaki in for this one. And this is a H1, and it's in H2 colours. And it had the expansion chambers on it at that stage. Some of the pipes are getting hard to get now, so Higg Speed in England make these pipes. It sounds of the 70s, they sound great. Yeah, probably the YDS3 Yamaha in the small range, and but my other bikes are like the water bottle and the H1 and H2 and the Z1. Yeah, it's awful hard to say which one's the better one. Well, it's a Suzuki GT750 with a nickname of a water bottle. In America, they call them kettles, buffaloes. A 750 water cooled, an aluminium motor. It looks a weird looking motor because it hasn't got fins on it because it's water cooled. And it's like a 3-cylinder, so when they fire, they're all over the shop, it's popping and carrying on. But it's a 5-speed box, and yeah, it goes really well. They're just beautiful to ride. It's such a comfortable bike. I've never had one as a younger person, but I thought that was just something I wanted to get, and they're just a unique bike. This is the sound of them. This one's got expansion chambers on, which makes it a little bit noisier. It's just an iconic bike in that era. I sort of live in the 70s and can't get out of it. Well, lately we've just been going down with the Japanese Vintage Bike Club down to Freeman's Waterhole. There's a cafe down there, and old blokes get down there, congregate with their bikes and have a cup of coffee and tell some stories and then come home. And I've been to Tasmania last year and going to South Australia this year with a different group, or just 2 of us, but other than that, it's just getting out on old bikes and just meeting and talking, yeah. Oh, I don't know, it's just the looks, like, you won't find a bike with the look of that now, and the H1s, and they're just iconic. I just love them. I was lucky enough to be born and raised in that time and lived through the 70s. The 70s was just unbelievable. You just can't describe it if you haven't lived through it. Pretty well. I mean, you only have to go look at the Triumph when you stop. They're all got a spot of oil under them, but they're not too bad, those ones. If you spend a bit of time when you do the motor up, you can fairly well have oil tight. But after a while, the vibrations, they start loosening the nuts and bolts up. But yeah, no, they're pretty good. But Jap's better in the sense that they're easy starting and are just more reliable, I think. I've introduced them to bikes at an early age, and I know that it was, probably not the best thing to have as a recreation sort of thing, but they're just as careful as what I think it's what I am. And my daughter Elise, she won the first inaugural Fink, and she won the post-year race out at Cessnock, and now her and her partner, they've got a company up there in Cairns that they do the Flinders, Darwin and back, and about 6 or 7 trips to the Cape every year, and 2 to Victoria, and then a couple to Nepal. They've got 38 bikes, I think DRZ 400s, so she's a better rider than what I am. Just beautiful. And it's the same, everyone will tell you, it's just the freedom out there, and And years ago you had open face helmets, that was even better, but I like opening the visor up and just having sunglasses on and just having the fresh air on you, and you're concentrating on the road all the time, so it's just, even though you're concentrating, you can still think and feel how wonderful it is. It's a great feeling.
I think you'll agree Kevin has an amazing collection of bikes. Click this link over here if you want to see a playlist we have set up with some other rider stories with bikes from the 1970s and 80s. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can ride a motorcycle, and that's kind of the same thing.